I am not yet married, but I've been privileged to work in an office where my secretary was a nursing mother. And that privilege taught me a number of things about children, even though I'm yet to become a father. Among several others, one thing I learned is that fear of loneliness is actually inborn and part of humans. Just like human beings would feel hungry and desire to eat, and then when this food has digested and the waste products are due to be expelled from the body, the impulse comes and they want to poo. The same way every living thing is scared of death, so no one ever wants to be alone. Those days when I see her baby suddenly wake up from sleep and can't hear anyone's voice or see anybody around, you see the shout of cry from the baby. He will cry so heavily that you'll think he's in a great danger. But immediately someone comes, he will stop. People can be around talking, and the baby would wake up from sleep without anyone knowing he's up from sleep. And this is because he hears people's voices, which proves he's not alone, making him comfortable. The reason for this could be said to be because this baby is still coming into the world, a place where he's not used to, and then he does not want to be left alone in such a strange place where he's but helpless. However, the more this baby starts getting used to life, the more experiences this baby starts to gather. This sense of loneliness no longer becomes physical, it's now more of psychological. A child grows into adolescence and adulthood, no longer scared to be left all alone, but now more afraid to stand all alone. This inability to embrace loneliness pushed a lot of people into becoming who they're not, so as to conform with their friends. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. This is a quote attributed to the legendary medieval famous Japanese swordsman known as Miyamoto Musashi, as written in his famous book called Dokudo. The way you came into the world all by yourself, so shall you leave it someday all by yourself, and when you shall be reflecting in your last moments. One of the things you shall regret the most is living a life that is not yours. In this context, it means a life that was lived to please people instead of yourself, because you can't stand being disliked by them. You don't want them to see you as a different sheep in the flock, so you are eager to become who you're not, as long as you're within the flock. Miyamoto Musashi himself broke away from his reportedly abusive father at a young age and spent most of his life alone. He reminds us the necessity of self-sufficiency and never getting weighed down because anyone or persons chose to depart from us. There are many meanings to this statement, and this is but one among them. Humans are social animals, and thus it shall be almost impossible to survive alone, and so it is more reasonable we find tribes where we don't need to be who we are not so as to fit in, except it's about personal improvement. Also, there are still times when life may push us into being alone. Such moments should also be embraced. The people in religious practices, there is a point they want to get in their spiritual growth. No matter how important food is to the body, you will see that they will get on some days of fasting with some serious spiritual sacrifices. Sleep is very good for the heart, for the mind, for growth, and so on, but religious practitioners would starve themselves of it to achieve certain spiritual goals. This shows that sometimes even essential needs for livelihood are sacrificed for certain goals to be achieved. When you're able to develop the courage to be disliked, here are some advantages it comes with. 1. Authenticity. When you have the courage to be disliked, you shall be real, always keeping it 100% because you're no more scared to make enemies. You can express your true thoughts, feelings, and values without fearing what they will say. What makes being alive more genuine and fulfilling than this? 2. Self-respect. Valuing your own opinions and choices over others' approval builds your self-respect. It allows you to set boundaries, stand up for yourself, and prioritize your own well-being, fostering a healthier self-image and stronger sense of identity. One thing about respect is this: when people see how you respect yourself, they often find themselves with no other choice but to reciprocate this respect. Hence, developing the courage to be disliked makes people respect you. 3. Freedom from approval. When you look at people who live the life of approval-seeking, you shall see how exhausting such a thing can be. Yet there are people who do this all the days of their life. Developing the courage to be disliked liberates you from this need. It enables you to make decisions based on what is best for you, rather than what will please others. 4. Stronger decision-making. When you are not afraid of being disliked, you can make bolder and more effective decisions. This confidence allows you to pursue your goals and take necessary risks, which can lead to greater personal and professional success. It also strengthens your decision-making abilities, making you a better and stronger person over time. 5. Authentic relationships. So many people would prefer being with the wrong people and in the wrong environment, as they are afraid to speak up their minds as a result of fear of being disliked. Having the courage to be disliked can improve the quality of your relationships. It encourages honesty and transparency, leading to more genuine connections. People who appreciate and respect you for who you truly are will be drawn to you, resulting in deeper, more meaningful relationships and a happier life. Ways to achieve this courage. 1. Understand your values. Clearly define your core values and beliefs. Knowing what matters most to you helps you stay grounded and confident in your choices, regardless of what people may think. 2. Practice self-acceptance. Embrace your strengths and weaknesses. Understand that even those who you admire the most still have weaknesses they are hiding from the world. Accepting yourself fully makes you less reliant on external validation and more comfortable with being true to yourself, even if it means facing disapproval. 3. Challenge negative thoughts. Recognize and challenge the fear of rejection. Question the validity of these fears and remind yourself that it's impossible to please everyone. Focus on the positive outcomes of being authentic. If possible, try every day to embrace those fears. For example, if you're afraid of approaching women because you're scared of rejection, make it what you do every day approaching a number of women. While doing this, make sure your heart is not tied to it. It gets you used to it, and rejection never becomes something to be scared of. 4. Set boundaries. Establish and maintain clear do's and don't when dealing with people. Learn to say no when necessary and prioritize your own needs and well-being over the desire to be liked. This strengthens your sense of self-respect and autonomy. It also makes people get to respect you. 5. Build emotional resilience. Develop strategies to manage criticism because it will always come, no matter how careful you try to be. Practice mindfulness, engage in self-reflection, and seek constructive feedback. Building resilience helps you cope with negative reactions and stay committed to your principles. 6. Seek supportive relationships. Surround yourself with people who respect and support you. Positive relationships reinforce your confidence and provide a safe space for you to express your true self without fear of judgment. 7. Gradual exposure. Start with small steps. Express your true opinions in less intimidating situations and gradually build up to more challenging ones. Each small success will boost your confidence. 8. Focus on long-term goals. Keep your long-term goals and aspirations in mind. Recognize that temporary disapproval is usually a small price to pay for achieving your larger personal and professional objectives. 9. Reflect on experiences. After situations where you faced disapproval, reflect on what you learned and how it impacted you. Use these reflections to strengthen your resolve and improve your approach in future situations. 10. Embrace self-improvement. Continuously work on your personal growth. Engage in activities that enhance your skills, knowledge, and emotional well-being. The more competent and self-assured you feel, the less reliant you'll be on external validation.